What is up, everybody? I'm reporting here live from PlebLab Startup Day here Friday. What's it? Friday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. I'm coming to you with my tuxedo T-shirt as a Big J journalist, and I got Santos here. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
Feel free to bring the mic closer to you. You'll see me just moving and touching it like the spaz I am the entire time. But yeah, man, welcome to Austin, and tell us a little bit about yourself and your project. I love the presentation.
Oh, thank you very much. About me, been at Zebedee for the last 2 years now, give or take. Very passionate about Bitcoin. Discovered Bitcoin in like 2015. That's really when I went like down the rabbit hole. I'd heard about it before then. Just kept learning. I worked in like financial services, fintech. Actually, in banking in 2015 when I discovered it, led me to like quit my banking job because I couldn't do that anymore.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And fast forward to 2020. I joined Amex. I felt like it was probably the most ethical banks. Did like credit risk analysis, and then moved on to the product team, the global data repository, where we did like bank integrations and data operations, things like that. Then I found out about Zebedee. I was a competitive gamer in the past, like semi-pro. So combining like gaming plus payments, I was like done deal. So I applied, got the role, and went from there. Now I'm the vice president of strategy there. And in my spare time, I built Emeralize, which is an e-learning platform that enables creators to earn from their courses and ebooks, and learners to earn from completing like paid courses and soon all courses.
Yeah, awesome stuff. So Zebedee, former semi-pro gamer. So we got Jackie Moon here, presence of the semi-pro. I don't know if you get that reference or not, but all right. So so tell us about the e-learning platform. So what's the goal behind it? What was kind of the motivation to create this? And yeah, do you think that there was like, I guess, was the motivation more so, you didn't really see it in the Bitcoin space. There's kind of a lack in that in the market, or it doesn't really seem you have like I guess an educational type background. So I think it's interesting you've kind of taken this path. So tell us kind of the motivation behind it and how you came up with the idea.
Yeah, I've always been really passionate about education. So I actually dropped out of school when I was 14. I did try to go to like community college and colleges, but I had also discovered MOOCs in 2016. So when I quit my job at the bank, I actually taught myself like a liberal arts degree, and I did it with entirely free resources from Coursera and edX, Udemy. And there were a few others too, like Udacity. And I kept looking to optimize my learning journey. And when I actually did try to go back to like different colleges, thinking that might be the path, I felt like it was really slow. I wasn't learning what I actually needed to know in life comparatively, like to what I was doing before. So I just was like, I'm gonna just drop out again, and I'm gonna focus on what it is that I need to know. So I taught myself to code, kept writing applications, got into film. I actually started like a small business where I helped build web applications for small business owners, like did some consulting and some kind of like freelancing or agency stuff, and kept building. And then I ended up getting married, so I needed to get more of a stable source of income. So I never stopped learning, continue to learn to this day, and I find it to be the most effective when you're learning online. It's self-directed. I've probably read like over 15 books just about education in itself. Getting to Emeralize, like having that knowledge and seeing where colleges are ending up today, that it's like causing people like massive amounts of debt when you can purchase resources for like a fraction like of the price. I saw that to be a huge problem, but even still, like Udemy and other platforms like that, like Coursera, edX, it could be out of people's price range. It doesn't use global money. So I saw an opportunity where Lightning fixes those things, and also that the platforms charge egregious fees to creators of courses there. So I thought, well, I can actually lower the payment processing cost significantly, and I can enable more people to access these things. Whilst at Zebedee, we saw like huge boosts in retention to our gamers that were getting rewarded in Bitcoin. So I thought, well, what happens if you start rewarding people for learning, and would we see a similar effect? So that's why I also thought SATS in terms of like giving those back to learners as they complete courses and soon to be free courses as well, just giving them things for learning or completing knowledge checks could also be very impactful for completion rates, because MOOCs have less than like a 1% completion rate for all the students that enroll. So these were like the problems that I saw in the market, and I thought, well, I can build something to help these folks and to help creators and learners alike. So that's what inspired me to do this project. I'm also very against the education system. I think that it's like a lot of it is state propaganda. You don't actually learn useful things. So yeah, I wanted to open it up for educators to create their own curriculum, to create their own courses and direct their students there and give them a way to make money. So these are all the problems that I saw.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's great stuff. But let's stick to the creator side for a second before we get to the learners, because I'm curious about that. Because, you know, I do understand about the fees and other things like that. Obviously, people, you know, they can give it out on YouTube or some other platforms, but, you know, you might not be making money, whatever. That's beside the point. So this seems like a great platform to kind of like lower the barrier to entry for creators and for learners. Which seems awesome. You know, you kind of using Lightning in that aspect. But on the creator side of things, do you do any, I guess, like course vetting or anything like that, or like how can you know, I guess, you know, a learner that's looking for a course or something, like, know the background of the creator? Do you, you know, what are the, I guess, the requirements for a creator to create a course?
There's no requirements to create a course. I opened it up a few weeks ago. So the way that it works is that I have a curated marketplace, which is what anyone going to the site can see. So that's how I can vet the course for everyone. That way you're only seeing like the most high quality courses that are available on the platform, at least that I've deemed. There could be like a better process implemented for that for sure. That's one of the things I have on my roadmap. For now, like creators can reach out to me, or if I see like an increase in volume for like a particular course, I might outreach to that creator. But the way that we keep it open still is that every creator has a profile, or they can they can send their learners to discover their courses or other resources, which are like an item in a course, as an example, to make purchases. So if you already are a course creator and you have an audience, you can actually direct them to your profile page and they can buy courses with Lightning. So then you can have both sides, like high quality curated content, which is what's necessary for the platform to grow at this stage, and then also a profile page for those that are maybe just getting started with the platform that they can direct users to. You can also earn tips from this profile page too. There's a nice tip button. You can send them a Lightning payment. We'll credit them on the opposite side.
Yeah, no, that's awesome stuff. So, you know, are you going to implement something, yeah, with the tips or like boosts, or kind of like, you know, how Fountain does it with the podcast and other things like that? Like, is there a way, I mean, I guess maybe for others, for like the learners to maybe review, or is it more of based off of, I guess, like kind of like the boost model that Fountain used? I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Fountain actually uses the Zebedee platform.
Okay, awesome.
Across the payments. So,
so you're very familiar.
Yeah, I love Fountain.
Yeah,
what they're doing is awesome. We do have tips already integrated. So we have a lot of Lightning functionality. We have tips, we have purchases, we have payment splitting, and we have automatic withdrawals to Lightning address. So I've implemented quite a lot of things related to Lightning, all using the Zebedee API. Yeah, so you can definitely tip. You can make your courses free. My hypothesis is that you know, the ad model doesn't really work very well anymore, at least for like education, because then you're like distracting people, taking them out of flow. It can work for other things, you know, outside of the education space, for sure, and it does to generate revenue. But I think that there's a better path ahead with like microtransactions. So I imagine that if you're a new creator, you can create a bunch of free courses, and then you can earn value for value off of your tips and have payments sent directly to your Lightning address. I plan to implement Noster as well, like a Noster plus Lightning address spec. So then you can then like have Zaps enabled, and you can also, you know, have payments flowing directly to you whenever you reach a balance of 100 sats or greater. I plan to make that flexible, deemed by the creator. So then you can earn, you know, boost, tips, Zaps, whatever you want to call them. And as you develop trust with your audience and you develop volume, get feedback, then you can begin monetizing your courses and selling them for sats ultimately. And then, you know, obviously have the automatic withdrawal in place if you want. So you don't even need to trust my platform beyond 100 sats. I'm trying to get it smaller and smaller and smaller for the custodial risk. Yeah, so that's like kind of the vision that I have. You start selling free courses or giving out free courses, you earn value back when people get value from them. And then as you like have a following and you're earning more, then you can develop paid courses or ebooks for that matter.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you think like you're gonna make the like boost tips, that kind of avenue, like I guess public? So like when a creator or something along those lines gets a tip, or that's like public. So because like the way I'm kind of thinking about it is, I mean, tell me if you think opposite, but I would think, you know, somebody gives a tip based on a free course or something like that, like a value for value model, right? Where they say, hey, here's 1,000 sats or whatever it is. I enjoyed XYZ about this course, or maybe they did like, hey, I think you could do XYZ a little bit better. Or maybe, they write like a detailed review based on like all that kind of stuff. And it's, kind of helps with, it's not like a review, like a 5-star or whatever it is, because I think on those models, basically it's like either one, people don't do it, don't put a 5-star review or whatever, or if they don't like it, they put a 1-star review. Like those people that put like a 2 to 4-star, like really gave it some thought, and it's like kind of cheap. But if you're giving sats, and you're actually like, hey, I'm giving you some money for this, you're more likely, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but more likely to write out something that's a little bit more thought provoking. Do you kind of, I guess, ascribe to that theory, and are you going to implement that where essentially it's like almost a review kind of thing?
Yeah, I totally subscribe to that theory, and I definitely have plans to do so. The idea would be to show like just like it does on Domus for like lightning tips, you could see like
Yeah.
the amount of tips earned for a particular resource, which again, like of course, is just a set of resources. So it's like one video or article, piece of content, basically in the course, and then at the course level as well, like an aggregated view. That's definitely in the roadmap and the goal, because I think that's a higher like signal information. And then I thought about, I love the way that Stacker News actually does comments as well, where you can like charge like a sat to post the comments, and then you have like skin in the game. It eliminates spam,
Mm-hmm.
and I also thought implementing like Noster comments would also be pretty cool. I'm gonna lean into Noster like quite a bit here in like the next month.
Yeah, yeah, that's great stuff. So I mean, yeah, Noster's great, and so for the learner side, now let's dive into that. So, is it one of those things where like we've kind of brought up Fountain a couple of times, but I think this is kind of, I don't know, the example or the other kind of model that's running through my head. Is that like when they, I don't know, do a course or something? Is it like you're gonna earn up to, I'm just throwing out numbers, but like 100 sats per course you complete, or something along those lines, and then as you go through the course, you can see the stats almost like streaming in. Is that kind of, I guess, the model you're going for?
Yeah, exactly. I would like to. Right now, I do have Learn to Earn implemented for paid courses. I have it only for paid courses because I wanted to add additional measures against botting. Botting can be a problem whenever you're offering free sats without like spending any sats. So right now, you earn, I think it's like 10 or 100 sats per resource that you complete. And you just have to click a button to mark it completed. And the idea is also to add knowledge checks. So then you can do like a quiz or not. I like calling them knowledge checks more.
Yeah.
Semantics, but yeah, then you can complete a knowledge check and then earn some sats. And that's how I plan to enable it for free courses as well. If you complete the knowledge check, you'll get like 100 sats. And I've already implemented a bunch of measures against botting at this stage, so it's in the roadmap for like the next 2 weeks or 4 weeks to add that functionality. So then you can see the sats streaming in. Every time you actually complete something, you see like a little toast notification that pops up at the top of your screen saying that you earned some sats. So that's the goal. I think there's a lot of value in showing that alert and seeing the stats stream in.
Yeah, and so for, I guess, for the knowledge check, now are there going to be, I don't know, is it going to be based on like, like based on like almost like a grading system, I guess, if that makes sense, where it's like, all right, if you get 100% on this quiz, you get 100 sats. If you get a 90, you get 90, that kind of thing like that, or are you just going to do like a flat reward, and why either way?
I'm going to do a flat reward initially because it's easier to implement.
Yeah.
For one, like in like a technical capacity. Not that like adding the different like cheering is like difficult to implement. But I also think that grades are kind of like not the necessarily like the greatest way to reflect how well someone understands something. It's useful for feedback, and it's a good way of like measuring how well you understand the content. But at the same time, I think if you like get 70% or above in the knowledge check, you probably have a pretty good grasp of the material, and you can always look up that material again. So I mainly use it as like a feedback mechanism and also like a bit of proof of work. So that's why I like the knowledge check for learners. I do like your idea though about like percentage based, you know, rewards. Like if you get the higher score you get, the more sats you get. That's actually a very cool idea. But just due to the technical complexity, saving time to get the feature out and to like begin testing it with learners, I'll go like the simplest route possible because maybe I find that people don't like the knowledge checks, and then I spend way less time on like the implementation. So that's the way I like to take the approach. Is just go like MVP, ship it, get user feedback, and keep iterating.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there too, and it was just a thought on my head because
It's a really cool idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's like something where okay, you take the knowledge check a little bit more serious, just because like, hey, you can earn more stats if you do a little bit better. But I could also see like kind of I don't know, maybe like the negative feedback where you get like I don't know 50 or 60 or something on that knowledge check, and then you're like, all right, well, I really didn't learn anything from this, and then that knowledge check could be not because they were, I guess, incompetent or anything else. It could be because the way the course structure was laid out wasn't really suitable to their learning style. So I mean, there's positive and negatives, right, to all this stuff, but that's what comes with like the iteration and learning and other things like that. So you're here at PlebLab, for startup day. So what are you looking to get out of this startup day for? I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the platform. I just remember it's education. So remind me one more time. What's the name?
Oh yeah, it's Emeralize.
Emeralize. Okay, so what are you looking to get out of Emeralize, or what is Emeralize looking to get out of here at Startup Day?
Really, I'm just here to share knowledge with people.
Okay.
I've learned a lot from like the last 2 years of building Lightning application, running teams, working with our CTO Andre Nevis, and now CSO Ben Cousins. And I hope that I inspire other people to like write educational content and ship it, and to share what you've learned. Everybody's an expert in something. Everybody like has something to share that is incredibly valuable for another like counterparty. So I merely built the platform to like help facilitate the sharing of knowledge. I really want like just to build like a central hub for Bitcoin education that you could point any one of your friends into for them to pick up and start learning there. And then I'm going to expand into other domains too, like product design, product management, like engineering stuff. Like PlebLab has a course actually on Emeralize already. If you're looking to start building a Lightning application. That's really what I hope is to like get people creating courses, sharing what they know, which is very valuable, and also for people to become aware of like what content is already on there. There's a lot of courses. There's I think about 10 that are on the featured marketplace right now.
Awesome. Yeah, great stuff. So are you participating in the hackathon tomorrow?
No, I'm going to be a mentor.
Okay, nice.
I have a lot of projects already going on.
Yeah, no. But like maybe maybe from there you can find some people that are doing some cool application or building something, and you're like, hey, why don't you build a course and put it on Emeralize? That's just a little idea, a little tidbit. You can get some people to, and I mean, there's going to be what they said 131 hackers tomorrow that are going to be going through that, so it's going to be a huge deal. So obviously you're working at Zebedee and kind of doing this on the side as well. So talk about that. What was, I guess, the motivation to kind of become an entrepreneur and, build all this? I mean, I know obviously you saw something, that's on the side, like a need, but it takes a lot of moxie. It takes a little bit extra time to build something on the side, from your day job, and maybe you're not earning, a significant amount from it yet, but what was the motivation to kind of get, become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I saw a fundamental need in the market. There's also not many like Bitcoin educational applications at this stage. There's a few, but no marketplaces for education as far as I'm aware. And I saw that, there's a ton of great educators out there that are exiting the legacy education system. You know, I had a horrible experience going to public schools as a kid, and I want to make a better place to learn. I want to, like, I think that no matter what it is that you're learning, whether it's like video games, whether it's, you know, like learning how to build a database, that there's value in that. And I want to create the platform for like the long tail of like creators, not the Stanfords of the world, but like the individuals that want to go independent, that want to work together, collaborate, form new companies, and give them like a way to earn. So that kept me going a lot. And then it's something that I've been interested in a long time. In 2019, I built a platform called Open Source Degrees because I thought this MOOC style education pattern was better. It's flexible for your time frame if you're working full time, which at the time I was. And there was no way to monetize, and I was also like less skilled in terms of like product development. So I built that so people could organize like open source degrees from these free MOOCs and teach themselves like mathematics, liberal arts, how to code, like whatever it is that they're passionate about. So I'm going to work towards that idea. I wanted to start off first with resources like singular pieces of content, which I did. We got too many, so then I abstracted it to the course level, and then now we're focused at the course level. Once we have more courses, we'll open up the concept of an open source degree, so then you can really curate your learning experience and maybe even customize your very own open source degrees, share it with other people, possibly sell it, and help other people get into the fields that they want to get into. So I just really am passionate about education, really passionate about new ways of doing things and challenging, you know, the status quo. So that kept me going. A lot of late nights, a lot of working till like 12, you know, 1 a.m. to wake up at 6 the next day. But that's what we do. We're Bitcoin builders. So we just keep shipping, we keep building, and never stop. Life is just one continuous and series of iterations.
Yeah, I mean, it's great stuff. So, I mean, I really do resonate with that. So, I appreciate, all the stuff you're doing with there. But I got one more question for you. Well, maybe more after this. I don't know. But so, are you going to be putting any of or creating any courses yourself and putting them on there, or are you kind of, I guess, is your just main goal just to build the marketplace and then you believe that the creators will come, or did you have like a course in mind that you kind of wanted to put out there yourself?
Oh yeah, I have like 8 courses or something that I've done. So
Okay.
I've been doing it free and open education for like the last 2 years. I run the AZ Bitcoiners meetup here in Phoenix, Arizona, Tempe, Arizona, with Stephen Cole, George McHale, you know, Gian Mendoza, Alex from Kaboom X. We have a solid organizer team. I do lots of education. Last few months ago with the launch, actually, I put out like a Lightning course by Zebedee. I've done like a course on building Lightning app, firing your first Lightning payment, product design. And I have no plans to stop. I'm going to add Nostr courses. I'm going to like fill in the gaps of the Django course, a Python course. So really, my dream is like get an A to Z guide for the things that I know quite well, or at least I think that I know, like product design, product management, strategy, and engineering ultimately. So that's what I'm doing. There's some courses out there already that I wrote, so definitely check them out.
What are the 8 courses that you have out there already?
So I have non-custodial, or I should say self-custodial guide for beginners using your first Bitcoin app, which is based on the Green Wallet application by Blockstream. Step-by-step walkthrough, including backups and backup recovery, sending and receiving. Phoenix Wallet course, so not a self-custodial Lightning application that you can use on your phone. It's accessible on iOS and Android. I have Lightning course by Zebedee. I have like firing your first Lightning address payment using the Zebedee API, building a Lightning app, which is a Lightning address payouts application. I have Lightning primitives application and a few others. So I'm very passionate about education. I spend a lot of my free time just thinking about, you know, how do we like get mainstream adoption? How do we get people to self-custodial solution? What's the evolution look like? How do we get people from no code to writing like Lightning applications? Because really my goal is for like global Bitcoin adoption. I don't think we're going to get there without earn and spend use cases. So I think that there's an opportunity for like 80% of different applications out there to have Lightning payments integrated in a way that makes sense. And I think the remaining 20% are yet to be discovered.
Yeah, no, 100%. So for those listening in the audience who want to check out the platform and figure out more about updates and what you guys are working on, maybe some maybe, I don't know if you have like a public roadmap or anything like that, but yeah, like the ideas, or maybe even create a course or whatever. Where can they find you? And yeah, find you and more information about that.
Yeah, you can go to my site. It's Santos SANTOS.LOL, and then I have like all the links to my projects there. A bit about like biography, short biography written, like all that kind of stuff.
Okay, and then yeah, the website, the marketplace. What's the website for that?
It's Emeralize.app.
Emeralize.app. And then are you guys on Twitter or Noster?
I'm on Monster. My NIPA file identifier is Santos at azb.tc, and
Santos.az. Say that again. One more time.
it's Santos at azb.tc.
Okay.
And then I'm on Twitter, Emeralize app, and then my Twitter handle you can find from the website.
Santos.hello.
Yeah,
That's an awesome website. All right, man. So what are the plans for the rest of the weekend?
dude, I'm so pumped to be in Austin. This is my first time out here, so I hope to chat with fellow Bitcoiners, get to know them better, get inspired, learn a thing or two myself, and I have a presentation for tomorrow. It's a workshop.
Okay,
so
awesome.
I'll be delving deep into the Lightning use cases, how I see them, Lightning primitives, and building with the Zebedee API. So that's going to be a sick one. That's what I got planned. I'm going to chill, eat some good food, meet some cool people, have some great conversations, and share more of what I know.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to that Kansas cattle barbecue for lunch. I know.
It's going to be so good, dude.
I'm hungry just even thinking about it. So,
yeah.
Santos, dude, congratulations, and thank you so much for coming in here and sharing a little bit about your mission behind everything, behind Emeralize, and yeah, spending some time with me. So I look forward to getting to know you a little bit more this week, and yeah, if you on your way out, if you can get the guy from or gal from the next presentation and send them on in, I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, will do. And thank you very much for having me. It's truly an honor.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, that was Santos from Emerald.